Welcome, everyone.
To Launch with Kim
and Dr. News. That's my one time I get to sing all day long.
You can sing as much as you want, but okay.
I know ain't nobody home. I work from home all by myself, so I guess I can sing as loud as I want, right?
All day, as loud as you want.
Yep.
Well, welcome everybody. We hope you had a great week, and we hope you are using some of the ideas and all of the information that's being shared on the challenge each night. Last night we had such a powerful covenant partnership team here, and that was Pastor Larry Colbert and his lovely wife Julia. And I mean, they were just dropping seeds. If you had your bucket out, you should be growing a harvest right now. With so much information, things for you to do or us all to consider when it comes to marriage. And one of those key things that I think that probably hit me more than any, well, there were several, but this one was, in fact, when you're having a discussion with your mate, and he called it a, what did he call it? When you're having a relationship that it's not, well, pretty much it's pretty much an argument, but he didn't call it that. What I liked is he said was, instead of facing each other, because that's a position of combativeness, stand beside each other. And eventually they started holding hands and having this discussion. So it shifted from an argument and became a discussion that was positive. So their posture meant a lot. So our posture means a lot when we're in a discussion. Not trying to win independently, we're trying to win together. So it was great.
That was heavy. There were a lot of good nuggets. That came out of. So go check that replay out. And speaking of replays, if you haven't joined our group, our Facebook group yet, 28 Days of Love, join that group. Go and join that group. And you can click on the guides section, GUIDES, the guides section. You can see all the replays. I pulled them out and I put them in order for you, so you don't have to scroll through and find them. They're right there for you.
Day 1, day 2, straight down.
We pulled out a couple times some notes for you that came about. We'll just keep adding to that, like little tidbits, maybe some highlights, things of that sort. The 5 days of language love is 5 days, 5 love languages, right? Is there for your access as well. So, and don't forget, every Friday we have Quinn and Sade's challenge.
And then we also have Aldrina's date night activities, or just possibilities, to see if there's something you'd like to do. Not only that, love does not just consist of just marriages, because single people need to be loved, need to love themselves, need to love God, need to love whatever it is that is part of their purpose in life. And so we actually had last week Annabelle Bonilla, who was, oh my goodness, just powerful. And tonight, that's right, we're back with the singles tonight. We've got, I want to call him Dr. Taylor. Want some research? Can I just speak it into existence?
Throw it out.
This young man, my husband has been following him for a while. I logged on his page. I saw he's actually done a TED Talk. I mean, he's already on the move, and he's operating in his gift.
Yes, he is.
And also what he went to school for. A lot of us don't get that opportunity.
Right.
But he is
Don't
doing
steal
that. Don't steal it all. Okay. I'm just so excited for him to be so young and to be doing so much. And I think I'm excited more because his mother, all the while he and his sister were growing up, have just been posting things about them, and just watching, it happen, just like a flower blossoming. I think it's beautiful.
I think one of the beautiful things about Tyrek as well is that he is a Black male. If you haven't noticed, I'm a Black male too. And oftentimes we get some bad press. And I love it when I see young, productive Black men.
Me too.
And it debunks all of the stereotypes, and debunks all of the negative talk, and all those things, all those biases and things that kind of go along with being a Black male. So I love it to see these young, productive Black men doing their thing.
Me too.
And I'm talking a lot, but I know for a fact that this young man has a bright future. I know for a fact he sets a goal and he goes after that goal. And as you hear him talk, he's meek and he's humble about it. But I don't want you to mistake meekness for weakness.
Right.
So this young man understands that his meekness and his humbleness means that he knows who he is, what he is, and what he can accomplish. and he doesn't have to say much. He's like, talk is cheap. Let's, put up a setup. Let's do this thing.
Let's get it
right.
done.
So without further ado,
without further ado,
everybody where you are, stand up, stand up. How they do it, church. We want to welcome Tyrek Traylor to 28 Days of Love Challenge. And what do we talk? I want to see the time. We talk 6 minutes and 20 seconds. Wow.
Look, he's always keeping track of that time.
Right. So Tyrek, kind of before we kind of jump into the questions, thank you for being patient.
Thank you for being here.
And thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Kind of tell us, even before we get into the single stuff, tell us just a little bit about you.
Yeah.
What do you want people to know about you?
A little bit about me. Okay. I'm a 22-year-old Black man. I graduated from Delaware State University. Currently working at a pharmaceutical company as a scientist. I work in a lab. Just trying to, get out there. As you said, work in my gift and just trying to always challenge myself, do new things, new challenges, things like that.
Right. You hear that? He got some bass in his voice too. Just tell a little bit about me. He put his Barry White on him, right?
Oh my goodness.
So as a scientist, I don't know, I just want to dig a little more because I'm interested in that field. Are you able, is it classified? Are you able to tell us a little bit about what you do in that lab?
Okay, so what I can say is we are like a third party company. So other pharmaceutical companies or things of that nature will come to us for specific lab work. So they'll have a drug that, let's say for leukemia, they want to test. They want to see how well it works in the body, different things like that. So we'll test those. I work with a lot of different samples like plasma, blood, urine sometimes. So there's a lot of we test different studies pretty much every day. So
cutting edge.
Cutting
edge. I mean, literally.
Right. So are you at DuPont or Merck or where?
Oh, it's QPS, third party.
Okay.
Quest Pharmaceutical Services.
Yes, that's one of the larger ones in the country. Yeah.
Used to be Roche Lab. Now it's this.
Yeah. My older sister worked for DuPont for many years as in the lab.
They were on the list.
Okay. She went back and got her MD. She's a doctor now. So I don't know what the future holds for you. That's why I'm saying I know it's bright.
Well, I'm on the prophesied.
I know it's bright.
Right.
Yeah.
Now that we know a little bit about you, tell us something about your relationship goals. Short term, long term. What's that look like? What's that sound like?
Well, I would say short term. That's when you're really just getting to know the person, really trying to feel out if your goals are aligned, figure out if you actually see this becoming long term. It's still getting to know each other, and it can't be rushed, that part of the phase, because it's kind of the foundation. It's what builds everything else. So it's very important. Long term, building on the foundation, like you know this person now it's not staying there. You have to grow together.
Yeah.
So I would say that.
Wow. So I'm hearing you say kind of like there's an experimental phase on the short term. You apply the scientific method to
well,
in the beginning.
In a way, you see a person, it's like I think my hypothesis is this person could be potential wife, things, so we gotta work at it and see if that's really the case.
Okay.
Newt loves to talk about that. When he was teaching science, he used to teach the boys about the scientific method of even that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That was my example. That was the example. That's how I taught. So you see a girl down the hallway. All you see is her silhouette.
All right.
Okay.
No. All you see is her silhouette. So you're like, I have a hypothesis that I want to know that young lady. So now you have to perform some kind of experiment. You got to go closer, gather some information, analyze that data, and then draw a conclusion. So scientific method, right?
Okay.
That's it.
Oh my goodness, he's a mess. How about your personal mission for yourself? Do you have a personal mission that you've established for yourself?
In terms of relationships or just in
It can be
general?
in terms of your life in general, because the way I see relationships is if you
Mm-hmm.
are complete within yourself, then all that you have, you bring to that relationship, and that's what establishes it. Is it,
Correct.
what helps to establish it. So it can be the personal, mission for you've established for yourself, or for when you get into a relationship, if you've established one.
Well, my mission, I would say, for myself would just to always be true to me and to just always never settle, try to challenge myself, go outside my comfort zone. Yeah, always accept new opportunities because you never know what they're gonna bring. So I always just try to put myself out there. Yeah, I think that will have to be the mission.
I love it. I love it. Newt tries to take notes so he can post them up here. So he's like big on sharing
Okay.
notes. So if you see him looking down
Yeah,
and typing,
I'm getting
I
your
see it now. I see
Yeah.
it now. Yeah.
he'll get all the phrases and we'll be posting them up.
Yeah.
Because people watch later, because so many of
Okay,
our
okay.
work at this time.
So because you're a young, single, eligible bachelor, what's a red flag in a relationship? Red flag early on, you know you're going cut and run.
Oh, lying for sure. Like, if you're lying early in the relationship, how can I trust you moving forward? I just lying is, and there's no real place for it in two people really trying to get to know one another and really trying to build something together. If you're lying to me, I can't trust you.
Yeah.
There's always going to be kind of a divide.
Ooh, that's real good. That's real good.
It's interesting. I'm posting. It's not showing.
So, so you got to rate. I don't know why you're not showing. Maybe you want to go straight to the challenge.
Okay, I'll
and
do that.
do it from there. So if a red flag is lying early on, and that means you can't trust them, you can't. So that means you must value communication.
Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about that. How does communication look for you as a single? How does that go?
I mean, always being open and willing to share how you feel. Sometimes omitting what you're thinking or what you're feeling is just as bad in some cases, because if we're communicating, we're talking, and things are getting deep or heavy in the conversation, and then you choose just not to say something because maybe you're uncomfortable. If you say you're uncomfortable, I can understand that, but if you choose not to say anything, then how can we move forward? It's not ideal.
Right. So an omission is just as much as as a lie or being dishonest.
Yeah.
Wow.
So tell me then, because in any relationship, when you first start courting, dating, whatever word you want to use, talking to each other, you're meeting that person's representative.
Correct.
So there is an element of holding something back. I mean, it's not wise to walk in the room and just tell everybody everything about you. So there's some tact that has to be had. Tell me what that dance looks like to you. Is there a balance? How do you know what to say, what not to say?
There is a balance, and there is being too forthright in the beginning as well. So it's really about feeling. You have to meet that person where they are. You don't know what if you're meeting that person just as everything that they've experienced, who they are, you don't really know that yet. So it's really trying to feel out that person and understanding that if they don't want to say something just right now, that doesn't mean you won't hear it eventually. It's just maybe they're not ready at that time. But it's situational. It depends on the person, the people.
Okay, I like that. So I'm hearing there's some patience involved. Be patient because it's situational.
Yes, sir.
So how do you know This is what I'm really trying to get at.
Okay, let's get there.
How do you know to cut the cord? You know,
How do you know?
To keep going?
If there's no time frame, but if you feel like you've spent ample amount of time with a person, and you still don't know them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're not going anywhere. There's things that if you know for a fact there's certain things that you would like to know, but they will not disclose about themselves, then that's where you have to just agree to disagree, maybe just step back and reassess if, this is really what you want with that person.
Got you.
So you've experienced positive relationships, I know, because you have great parents. When you look at other relationships that may have influenced your life, what main factors in those relationships would you like to take and help or apply to yourself, or to help to mold your own relationship when you establish a marriage or whatever it is that you choose to?
I would say understanding and perspective. That's understanding where, like, we as people can be so set on what we see, and it's hard sometimes to understand where another person is coming from, especially if you don't understand it right away.
Right.
So you just have to sometimes just listen, not to respond, but just to listen, interpret later, and then just, and not everything needs a solution. Sometimes you just need to be heard.
What other things have influenced you, looking at other relationships of people who have influenced you either way? Things that you would also like to do, and then maybe some things you're like, wow, I saw some things and I don't want to go that, just some things. We've been really trying to get our singles to talk about, what it is that they want and what things they don't want, just being honest about that, So is there any other things that really have influenced you, that has encouraged you, or there's some things that really turned you off and you don't want to go that direction?
I know one thing for sure that has turned me off. When people use somebody's thoughts as leverage, if I choose to disclose something to you, if I choose to be vulnerable with you about something, and vice versa, then don't throw that back in my face later.
Right.
Because I thought we had a safe place, a safe space to just really connect, and then you chose to throw that back in my face later. It doesn't sit right with me. I don't see how that can help anybody.
So understanding perspective was two of the things that you really would like to make sure you put in your relationship. How do you feel about quality time and communication and those things that each of us desire, depending upon the things that really speak to our need or our love language?
Yeah, for sure. Quality time is a big one. I would think, because as adults and even moving forward, I know people can just become so busy. You have to make time for the things that you want. Communication, we talked a little bit about that, but that's what really makes it last. Once you lose communication, you have a friend or a roommate. It's a loss of connection. That's key in a strong relationship, in my opinion.
Wow. I want to jump in on one. So we believe that marriage between man and woman, God established it as a partnership early in Genesis, where he said, listen, it's not good for man to be all one or all alone. So he created Eve from Adam's rib as a help meet for him. So in other words, God was like, you need someone to make sure you can accomplish the mission or the task that I've given you, which is to till the garden. That was kind of, the Bible way. So moving that, fast forwarding that to 2022, as a single man, right? What do you think your responsibility is to that young lady, future wifey, make sure that she accomplishes the mission that God has embedded in her? And what do you think her responsibility is to you to do the same? Like, how much sacrifice happens in that?
So sacrifice and a lot of compromise, because some things, if my significant other is, on her way to whatever mission or goal that she has, I can just let her know, like, I got this over here. Like, I have this, you focus on this,
right?
Just really try to build yourself up in this, and I'll take care of this. So don't stress and don't worry about, other stuff. And on the other side, I would say just support is, everybody needs support. And I feel like if my woman is my peace, like I know I just have just a supportive, calming person to hear me, to be there for me, then I can accomplish anything.
Wow. Yeah, I know, it's so good to hear somebody so young have so much richness and so much meat in this. I mean, it's awesome.
He has a great example.
I know he has an awesome. Look, I'm not trying to talk about your parents so much, but they're great. We had some other questions, and I just wanted to ask you about this one. Given all the distractions in today's in our world today, and the lack of popularity of marriage, because I mean, a lot of young people don't seem like they're wanting to be married. They go from relationship to relationship. Why is this journey of marriage possibly appealing to you, or is it appealing to you?
It definitely is, because I've seen it, and I know when done right, it's a great thing. I like a lot of people. Well, I guess nowadays it's just easier to, do what you want, basically. You don't have to. There's really no compromise when you do what you want. You don't have to. It's all about you. But when you do find that one person, it will be for the best, for the better, if you build in that, rather than all the other stuff out here.
Well, being that you're so busy, because you have so much going on in your life. You've just embarked upon something pretty powerful right after coming out of college. Are you willing at this point to share your time with somebody right now? Or are you talking more, working more through what you're doing and then waiting? What's that look like for you?
I feel like sharing my time, I definitely can share my time. But as far as a more...
That's a good question.
What's the word? In terms of actually like marriage, that I know for sure that will come later, because I'm not where I would want to be. Like, it would be ill-advised for me to want to propose to somebody knowing I'm not prepared myself. Wow. So I just can't. Yeah, that wouldn't be for the best.
So what are something, were you going to jump in? What are some things that you'd like to kind of build and have ready before you reach or launch into that direction?
Finances, for sure. Finances have to be in order. You have to have your own space. You can't invite somebody into, a space that's not your own. Also mentally, like, I don't think enough people before really sit down and research. I don't know if that's a scientist in me, but I really, really want to understand the ins and outs, and understand what I have to offer, what I'm going to be giving, and what I'm going to be receiving as well in marriage. So it's not quite ready for that.
That's to me, that's awesome. It even shows your maturity to be able to say, not quite ready, I'm still building myself. whomever she is, she's going to get a prize. Any person who can look and say, I'm working on some things, I'm not quite there yet. And I want to have my finances in order. I want to make sure I have my own space. I want to make sure I'm established. I think that's pretty powerful. A lot of people who do, you're welcome, who do marry quickly, those aren't things that they think of. Why do you think that is in this day and era, those who just jump into marriage? Why is it that they take that leap without even considering, or what does the scripture say, counting up the cost? What do you think happens,
I think when love is a strong thing. It can be very strong, very pulling. Especially like very early on, you can just be so not lost, but so focused on where you are right now. You tend to not care or push off to the side the future. You don't think about that right before you make a big decision. I'm always trying to look to be prepared. I can't just jump into something not knowing what the outcome will be.
Right. So I agree. Okay, Newt, I'm not going to take over anymore because I can ask. I love talking with millennials wait, I guess he would be in the millennial. I love that because I just love to hear where they are, and some of you who are so prepared or really trying to organize their life. To me, it's impressive, and I love talking to you all. So I would ask you a million questions.
Yeah, she would.
I love it.
So our focus this week is on love's vehicle.
Filling your tank.
Love's vehicle. Next week's the tank.
Oh, that's right. The tank.
Right. So love's vehicle.
Getting there.
That vehicle that keeps love moving in the right direction. So you mentioned a lot of things today to kind of answer that question. So I just took that down.
I know. I want to
put it back up.
Yes.
I'm not going to like go back and rehash those things. So what I do want you to do, kind of, because we're sort of at time, and I want to respect time that we got you here. What advice, or what nuggets would you drop on the singles out there? That would help them get ready to get in position for a serious relationship. And this is a long explanation. Keeping in mind the things you said, making sure you're prepared first. The quality and the character of the person that you're going to marry, goals, dreams, and aspirations, position, and helping with accomplishing missions. Keeping all the stuff we talked about today. Give me a nugget or two for some single folks out there.
I would say know who you are, and be patient. Once you know who you are and you're living, your truth, who you are, that attracts who you would be, looking for. So you don't always have to be loud and be too outgoing or out in front with your intentions and things like that. Because once you are living who you claim to be, then it'll come.
I love that. Know who you are. It attracts the right person. I have another. Look, I had to put it up there real quick. I love that. And plus, people watch later, so I want them to get the nuggets that you're sharing, especially being a 22-year-old young man with so much depth to him. So what is the thing that you're doing to stay the course? What motivates you to stay the course, to take that vehicle of whatever it is in your life and drive straight through to the destination that you're trying to reach?
I think faith in my family. I've seen it done. I know it can work. So I just know that, and that's what I want. So I know that once everything is in order, it will be all right for me as well.
So faith and your family. I love that. I love that.
So you're telling folks to get an example.
Yes, sir.
Mentor to look at. Wow.
Yes, sir.
That's powerful. That's powerful.
It is.
That's powerful.
Especially nowadays. There's a young lady who's from Kentucky who said, great wisdom.
Oh,
and I'm
thank
like,
you.
Marlena, this young man is 22 years old. And this is coming out of the mouth of a 22-year-old who's educated and just a wonderful young person. So yes, he says thank you. Wow.
So we're at the time. Are there any last words? Anything we didn't touch on? Anything that
he wants to share?
Yeah, anything you want to share,
or anything you're doing that you'd like to invite, or where people can
about,
follow you. If you have a YouTube or Instagram where they can follow you,
clothing line,
anything. We love to promote. We love it.
You know, I'm not really too much on social media, but if you would like to follow me, it's Tyrek, my first name, J _TRAY. If you would like to.
TRAY.
And that is on
Instagram.
You guys follow this young man, because I'm telling you, you'll just be able to watch the crumbs that he leaves so that you can actually follow his path, because he is going places.
Right. And you have a TED Talk. I know you did a TED Talk. What was that, like 2 years ago?
Oh, no, that was in 2017.
Was that long ago? Wow, time flies.
Yeah. I was a senior. I was a senior in high school.
Okay.
I love that.
So they can Google that?
Yeah, it's on
there. Yeah, it's on YouTube actually.
Right. I didn't mean to say Google.
Yeah.
They can search for YouTube and just type in Tyrek Traylor.
Tyrek Traylor, I believe it's called The Center. That's what that's the speech I gave at my high school graduation as well.
Yeah.
So, really?
The Center.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
We should have had him talk a little bit about that too. Well, Newt, I know Newt wants to have you come back with the gentleman. So I'm not going
next time for
steal
sure.
his thunder. You know what I mean? I'm not going to steal his thunder. But anything else, Tyrek, that you'd like to just share to encourage your young brothers at this point who may feel like they've made mistakes, they've messed up, they don't know how to get back on track. Yeah. They don't have examples.
It don't even have to be about relationships.
Right. It can be about anything. They don't have good examples for life. I'm telling them they can follow you. But is there anything that you'd like to say? Because we get such a bad rap, as Newt said, for our young men. And sometimes they receive the words that are being said to them and they believe them themselves. So no one else has to say them. It's in their own head. Anything you'd like to say to them to encourage them, to let them know it's not over, anything.
I would say don't live in your mistake. You'll keep making the same ones if you keep going over those mistakes over and over again. Don't be so hard on yourself. You are young, you will make mistakes, but just you have to learn from them. You have to just keep evolving and get a good example. If you know that what you're seeing is not where you would like to be, if you see something that you're following somebody and you say, I don't want to be that person, then really reevaluate who you're following. If you don't have an immediate person that you will want to follow or be a mentee of, you can find somebody. I'm pretty sure a lot of people will, want to be there for you, answer any questions, advice. You can even contact me. I'll try to be there for you if you need anything. So yeah, there's always somebody that will, listen to you, be there.
Reevaluate who you're following. That to me is so powerful. I heard that message from someone teaching way early this morning. You didn't even know about that.
Oh, wow.
So you just reset it today. Reevaluate who's in your ear, who you're following. That was so wonderful. Newt, do you have anything else? Because I create questions.
I'm trying to keep up with all the nuggets he's dropping.
I know he is. He's trying to share them. Tyrek, you are just wonderful. Just
thank you so much.
And we're just so excited to see what else God's going to do with you. We're just going to be watching in the background, watching.
And know anytime is anything that you need, anything that we can help with, or you even think we can help with, just reach out, holler.
Even if it's just to pray for you.
Yes,
I will.
You got you got somebody on your side. We're on your side. All right.
Well, thank you so much.
Can I get 45 seconds just to bless your life in the atmosphere? Is that okay?
Oh, that's fine with me.
All right, God, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for this young man that you formed specially to accomplish something specific on this planet, God. We are just calling out every, I don't know, piece of wisdom, knowledge, experience, everything that he needs to build his mindset, his skill set, his character, his influence to where it needs to be so he can accomplish that thing that you specifically designed for him. We're just releasing the clouds right now. Let it rain on him. Let it rain in his life. And then God, we're saying, go ahead and make his eyes, anoint his eyes so he can see those things and know that they're for him and absorb them with the wisdom and the dedication that he already has to become the person that you designed him to be. We're just releasing that in the atmosphere right now, and we're calling forth the ministering angels that you've assigned to Tyrek to continue to tap on his shoulder, to continue to guide him on the path that you have designed for him. Not a preferred will, God, but a perfect will for his life, so that his journey will be straight and short to his destination, so that he can release the greatness that you've embedded in him into this world. We need him to accomplish what you placed in him, so we can be our very best. And we're asking for that. We're releasing that. We're calling it forth right now in Jesus' name. Tyrek, we thank you. We thank you for spending some time with us.
Well, thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much.
Man, you are more than powerful. More than powerful. Yeah. You make me want to go back and be 20, 21, 22.
Okay.
I can't.
I mean,
no. You go to Tyrek, let him, Oh my God. Those of you who are watching, this is what I call a part of 28 Days of Love.
Yes.
When you can see young people who love themselves, love God, love their purpose, love the calling on their lives, and love it enough to go forth and to do it, and then love the people to share the things they're doing, that has, no reason to hide what they're doing, but want to share it with others. This is what love is. We have this misconstrued belief of what love is, that it's all emotional and feeling. No, it's work. It's a muscle that we have to grow, all of this.
And I like what he brought out, that it's intentional. There's a sign, and I was joking about it, but there's a scientific process to it. There's some data collection, there's some analysis. You have to weigh things against a thing. There has to be a goal, which means there's an example that you have. So it's not haphazard. It's not, just by the way. It's predictable. So thank this young man for reminding us of that and putting it in play, so that we know that love exists and it's alive, and it's going to keep being alive even in the generations after us. So thank you, Tyrek. We are over our time, 9 minutes. That I told you 6:30. He's busy.
He is busy. But we thank you so much.
And we'll be in touch, my man.
Oh, looking forward to it.
Outstanding.
Bye, Tyrek. Right. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.